my name is Vanessa van Dijk, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can use the Inkey beta hydroxy acid, which is a leave-on exfoliating acid serum, which means that once you have applied it to the skin, you're going to leave it on the skin. There's no need to wash it off. Now, beta hydroxy acid stands for BHA, which is also known as salicylic acid. So this serum contains 2% of salicylic acid, which can help you to improve blackheads, whiteheads, overall pimples here and there. It has some anti-inflammatory properties. It is able to break through oil to unclog the pores and regulate oiliness. At the same time, it contains 1% of hyaluronic acid, which is a hydrating ingredient. So this leave-on exfoliating acid serum is suitable for all skin types, and you can use it in the morning and or evening. So you can use it once or twice per day daily if your skin can tolerate it. Now, if you're being completely new to it, you may want to start off by just using it once per day, every other day, and then you can slowly increase it if you feel like you need to use it more often and that your skin can tolerate it more often. Then go ahead and increase it and adjust the frequency. But I mainly want to keep my focus on the morning and evening skincare routine so that you can see the order of application, so that you can see the steps visually, as well as what you should avoid. Now, if you have already seen some of my previous videos, you know that I like to prepare my example skincare routines in PowerPoint slides so that you can see it step by step in this video as well. And if you want to later on go over those example skincare routines in your own time, then you can download them in the description box down below. Now, I'm going to get started with a very simple skincare routine, then I'm going to show you how you can adjust it with other treatments, and then I want to get into what you should avoid part. So we are going to get started with a simple morning skincare routine, which is going to be washing your face using a suitable and gentle cleanser that's working well for your skin type. Meaning, if you have dry skin, look for a cleanser that's great for dry skin. If you have oily skin, look for a cleanser that's great for oily skin. Go ahead, wash your face, rinse it off, pat the skin dry. Then immediately move on to the application of the Inkey beta hydroxy acid. Apply it to the skin, leave it on the skin. And then when being exposed to the sun during daytime, it is important to follow with sun protection, which can either be a moisturizer that already contains SPF or a regular sunscreen. And this would be it for morning skincare routine. However, if you now say, well, I want to use it in the evening instead, or I want to use it in the morning as well as evening, then when it comes to the evening routine, it's basically very similar to the morning routine, just without sun protection. So again, you're going to get started with the first step, which is washing your face using suitable and gentle cleanser. Depending on how stubborn your sunscreen and or makeup may be, you can go ahead and do a double cleanse using an oil or balm cleanser at first, or maybe micellar water, and then follow on with your daily gentle cleanser. Wash your face, rinse it off, pat the skin dry. And then again, move on to the application of the beta hydroxy acid serum. Once you have applied it, leave it on the skin. There's no need to wash it off. Now, you can stop right there. You do not have to follow with a moisturizer afterwards, but of course, depending on your needs, or if you may experience dryness over time, since the exfoliating acid serums helps to regulate oiliness, which can make, for some people, the skin a bit drier, then you can follow on with a moisturizer that's working well for your skin needs. Just make sure that you're choosing a moisturizer that won't clog pores, especially if you do already suffer from clogged pores or have, for example, acne-prone skin. Then this is important to keep in mind. This would be a very simple way on how you can add it to your routine if you just want to keep the focus on the beta hydroxy acid leave-on exfoliating acid serum. But if you now say, well, I want to follow a bit more of an advanced routine, or you may want to follow the style of how the Inkey list recommends it, well, then it can look like this. This is going to be an overall general setup of order of application when setting up a skincare routine. So again, you're going to get started with washing your face using a gentle and suitable cleanser for your skin type and needs. In the evening, again, you may want to do a double cleanse. Then you would follow on with an hydrating and soothing toner or an hydrating serum. So if you would follow with the Inkey list, then it would be the time to add your hyaluronic acid serum to the skin. If you do not have the hyaluronic acid serum, but you have an hydrating and soothing toner, then this would be basically the next step after cleansing. Apply to the skin, leave it on the skin, there's no need to wash it off. Then follow on with the beta hydroxy acid, apply to the skin, leave it on the skin. And if you then have any other treatments at home, such as, for example, niacinamide or alpha-butane, just a couple to mention, then you would follow on with one of them or maybe both of them after you have already applied your beta hydroxy acid serum. Again, leave it on the skin, there's no need to wash it off. And then you can follow in the evening with just a moisturizer if you should feel the need, and that's basically it. However, during daytime, don't forget again sun protection, which can either be a moisturizer that already contains SPF or regular sunscreen. And this would be another setup of how you can add, for example, hydrating toner or serum to the skin, as well as other treatments depending on your overall skin concerns, so that you can adjust it and see the order of application. Now, of course, if you have other treatments at home from different brands, you can go ahead and basically exchange it, but it won't change the step when it comes to the order of application. Just replace it, and that's basically it. Make sure that you're always choosing products that feel good on the skin, that do not irritate your skin or dry out your skin too much in any way. Certain blemish treatments in general can make the skin a bit drier, therefore you always need to keep in mind to balance it out with a moisturizer. But other than that, make sure that it does not irritate your skin in any way. Now, this brings me to what you should avoid. Especially with the Inkey product, they do have some toners. However, none of their toners are hydrating and soothing toners, at least when it comes to what they currently have available. So if you think, well, I do want to add one of the Inkey toners in your skincare routine, then please do not do it, because those are all exfoliating acid toners. So their PHA toner, their glycolic acid toner are exfoliating acid toners. Then they have a lactic acid serum. This is again an exfoliating acid serum. So those are all exfoliating acids. The same would apply if you're looking into, for example, the ordinary products. They have the glycolic acid toning solution, or lactic acid or mandelic acid, or the anhydrous solution, the new one with salicylic acid. Those are all exfoliating acid products. And the one famous one from Paula's Choice, the 2% BHA liquid exfoliant. Those are just a few to mention, but those are all exfoliating acids. So when already working with the Inkey beta hydroxy acid, since it is already a 2% salicylic acid exfoliant, just stick to one exfoliant per routine. Now, best would be to only stick to one exfoliant in your entire routine, because then you can simplify basically everything, and you do not need to worry about a specific frequency, or you do not get into the risk by using it too often to end up with irritation. But please do not use different exfoliating acids in the same routine, especially with leave-on exfoliating acid products, since you're not rinsing them off, so they can be more intense on the skin. And when doing this frequency too often, or when using them in the same routine too often, it can lead to irritation, where you would to some extent end up with over exfoliation, where your skin does not need that much exfoliation, and it's going to irritate your skin instead of giving you improvements. So therefore, either just use one, in this case the Inkey beta hydroxy acid, or alternate between, for example, one of the Inkey exfoliating acid toners as well as the beta hydroxy acid serum. Then alternate between them, use one in the morning, the other one, for example, in the evening, or on different days. You have to adjust the frequency. Keep this in mind when working with multiple exfoliating acids in the same week. The same would apply to exfoliating acid mask. For example, the ordinary peeling solution, that one is a very strong exfoliating acid mask, so please do not use the exfoliating acid mask and the Inkey beta hydroxy acid serum in the same routine. Keep them separate. If you're planning on using an exfoliating acid mask, leave out the Inkey beta hydroxy acid serum. And there's another point that I do want to emphasize, which is retinol. Now, you can get retinol, or in general retinoids, from different brands. And if you are suffering from blemishes, for example, or you may have acne-prone skin, well, then you can either lean into retinol, or, for example, retinoids, which would be differin or tretinoin. Please keep them separate. Do not use them in the same routine, especially if you're being new to your retinol or retinoid. Use that one at first on its own for about a month before thinking of adding an exfoliating acid to your routine. And if you do add it to your routine, make sure that you're using it when not using your retinol or retinoid. And again, you need to adjust the frequency. So if you mainly want to keep your focus on your retinol or retinoid, use that one in the evening, 2 to 3 times per week, up to every other day, up to daily in your evening skincare routine, depending on how your skin is going to adjust to it. But then again, keep in mind that use just your exfoliant like 2 to 3 times per week in that specific case, otherwise it's going to be too much. And another point that I do want to emphasize, which the Inkey list does have as well, which is a strong vitamin C. Now, vitamin C in general can be used with salicylic acid. However, if it contains more than 15% of ascorbic acid, this can already be pretty intense on its own. So when using exfoliating acids with a pretty intense vitamin C product in the same routine, this can lead to irritation. This may not happen right away, but the more often you're going to do this can be quite intense. So therefore keep them separate and adjust the frequency. And the last point that I do want to make is that using a salicylic acid cleanser and the Inkey beta hydroxy acid serum can work together. However, if already the cleanser or the exfoliating acid serum on its own is a bit too drying or a bit too intense for your skin, I recommend avoiding using both in the same routine and basically just use one salicylic acid product per routine. So you could use, for example, your salicylic acid cleanser in the morning and then use a gentle cleanser in your beta hydroxy acid serum in the evening. This is just an example on how you can adjust it depending on how salicylic acid performs on your skin and how intense it may be for your skin. Because what you want to make sure is that it's going to help you, but at the same time does not cause any excessive dryness so that it starts to become very uncomfortable and you do not want to end up with irritation. Now this, however, brings me to the entire application that I want to share with you so that you can see it visually. And I'm going to get started with the first step, which again is washing your face using a suitable cleanser for your skin type and needs. Now in this example, I'm going to use the Inkey Hyaluronic Acid Cleanser, which is great for all skin types. It is a gentle cleanser and it's a hydrating cleanser. However, if you have a different cleanser at home that works really well for your overall skin, then go ahead and exchange it. Just make sure to read on the back of the packaging on how you should use your cleanser, since the directions may change depending on the cleanser that you're using. And so in this example, I need to apply the cleanser on wet skin and then I'm going to rinse it off later on with water and patting the skin dry. So at first we are going to use lukewarm water to warm water to wet the face, neck and hands. You can do this above the sink. However, if you prefer to wash your face with your cleanser while showering anyway, that's very convenient, go ahead and do so, and then once you're done in the shower you can continue with the rest of your skincare routine. But for this purpose, to keep it going, I'm going to do it above the sink. So again, I'm going to wet my face and neck with lukewarm water to warm water and then I'm going to massage cleanser onto wet skin. So let's go ahead and do this. Then use about a coin-size amount or 1 to 2 pumps of your cleanser in the palm of your hand. About that much, more or less. Rub your hands together and then gently massage the cleanser all over your face and neck. Just make sure to not get it into your eyes nor get it into your mouth. If that's the case, rinse it immediately with water. So once you have massaged it all over your face and neck, you now can go ahead and again rinse it off with lukewarm water to warm water. Once you have rinsed off the cleanser with your hands and you still feel like there's some residue left, you can go ahead and use a fresh and soft washcloth in between, which you're going to wet, and this can help you to remove the rest of the cleanser a bit better from the skin so that everything comes off. So now go ahead and take a fresh towel and pat the skin dry. So after the cleansing step, you can immediately move on to the next step. There's no need to wait in between. Now, the next step can already be the application of the Inkey beta hydroxy acid serum. However, if you do have an hydrating and soothing toner at home, then use it after your cleansing step but before the BHA exfoliating acid serum. And so if you want to see a proper application of how you can use an hydrating and soothing toner, I have a specific video for you in the top right corner. But again, if you want to go with the scheme of the Inkey products and and you have, for example, the hyaluronic acid serum at home, then you would use that one immediately after your cleansing step as your hydrating serum, and then use between 3 to 4 drops for your face and neck. Apply it evenly all over. Once you have applied it, you're going to leave it on the skin. There's no need to wash it off. Make sure that you're using enough product for your entire face and neck, but also make sure that it's able to properly absorb into the skin. Once you're done with your hydrating step, you can immediately move on to the beta hydroxy acid serum, and this is now where I want to keep my focus on. So when applying that one to the skin, use between 2 to 3 drops and apply it evenly over your face and neck. Now you can use a few drops in the palm of your hand, rub your hands together and then apply it. You can apply it with your fingertips, or immediately use a few drops on your face and then start blending it all over. Whatever application method works the best for you, go ahead and do so. And this would be a general guide when using it all over your face and neck. However, you can use this leave-on exfoliating acid serum on specific areas as well. So let's say you have blackhead prone skin or blemish prone skin only on a specific area. Let's say it's going to be your nose and cheek part area. Then you can just use the beta hydroxy acid on this part. Or let's say you have blemish prone skin on your forehead. Then go ahead and just use it on your forehead if you do not suffer from such issues over the entire face. So you can either use it all over or just on the affected area. And of course, this is individual, that needs to be adjusted depending on your main skin concerns, and if you have them all over your face or only on a specific place, then go ahead and adjust it. Now I'm going to show you now both ways. So if you're just using it for a specific area, then of course reduce the amount of product that you're going to use. So for me, for example, it would be my forehead. This is where I mainly get breakouts and overall have blemishes left. Well, this is now where I would keep my focus on. So I'm going to use 1 drop for my entire forehead. And then I'm just going to blend it evenly all over. And once you have applied it only on that specific area, then you're going to leave it on the skin. There's no need to wash it off, and then you can continue with the rest of your skincare routine. However, if you now say, well, you want to use it over the entire face and neck, well then of course go ahead and use a few drops more. So I'm going to add 2 drops more, and then I'm going to blend it over the rest of my face. Now when using it all over, please make sure to not use it on top of your eyelids. Please do not get it into your eyes. Please do not get it into your mouth. If that's the case, rinse it immediately with water, and please do not get it too close to the actual lower lash line. So, and once you have applied it, again, you're going to leave it on the skin. There's no need to wash it off. Now, this leave-on exfoliant feels very hydrating and lightweight on the skin, which makes it so suitable for all skin types. But of course, keep in mind to always adjust your skincare routine accordingly to your overall needs. Now, if you just want to keep the focus on the beta hydroxy acid, and let's say you're going to use it in the evening or you're using it in the morning, but you're not being exposed to direct sunlight, well, this could be already the first and last step in your skincare routine. You just can wash your face, use the beta hydroxy acid serum, and that's basically it. However, again, if you want to add an hydrating and soothing toner or other treatments to your skincare routine, you need to adjust it. If you're planning on working with a moisturizer, you need to adjust it. So please keep this in mind. This is very individual, and it's not wrong to just use the leave-on exfoliating acid serum on its own. This can work as well if it feels good on the skin. However, if you now say, well, I do want to use, for example, niacinamide or alpha-butane or maybe any other serum that you may have at home afterwards, well, then go ahead and do so. You can add it basically now after you have applied the Inkey beta hydroxy acid serum. And so when it comes to an overall guide on how much you should use of your treatments, then use between 2 to 3 drops if you have a thicker texture serum, so that you have enough for your entire face and neck. And because the texture is thicker, it usually blends like better over all your face and neck. However, if you have a serum that has a very thin water-like texture, then use between 5 to 8 drops. Start with 5, and if you still should feel the need, you can add a few drops more, but please do not overdo it. Or if you have like a cream-like texture or light gel texture serum or in general treatment, then use about a pea-size amount for your face and neck. And then apply your treatment all over your face and neck. If it's a leave-on treatment, well then just leave it on the skin, there's no need to wash it off. And then after that you can follow either with sun protection during daytime or moisturizer in your evening skincare routine. Of course this depends on your overall needs as well as if you're being exposed to the sun during daytime or not. And so to finish it up, to keep the routine as simple and straightforward as possible, I'm now going to move on to a moisturizer. I'm going to use the Inkey Omega Water Cream. This is, for example, great for all skin types. It's a very hydrating and lightweight cream. However, if you have a different one, go ahead and exchange it. Just make sure that it feels comfortable on the skin and it does not clog your pores. As for moisturizer, use more or less about a pea-size amount so that you can evenly apply it all over when blending it over your face and neck. So about that much, more or less. Rub your fingers together and then gently blend it all over. So, and once you have applied your moisturizer all over, then you're going to leave it on the skin, there's no need to wash it off. And this would be the last step in your evening skincare routine when using the Leave-On Exfoliating Acid Serum in the evening. However, again, during daytime, when being exposed to direct sunlight, please don't forget sun protection. And I do want to repeat, either use a moisturizer that already contains SPF or regular sunscreen. Make sure that your sun protection product does not irritate your skin, feels comfortable on the skin, and that you're going to blend it evenly all over. If you want to see an entire application, I have a specific video for you in the top right corner so that you can check it out. And this is what I wanted to share with you on how you can use the Inkey Beta Hydroxy Acid Serum. I do hope that you enjoyed this video, that you find it helpful. If you did so, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up as well as share it. And if you now want to know more about the different skincare products and see the entire application, I have several videos for you on my YouTube channel, and I'm going to leave some of them at the end of this video so that you can keep on watching. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon in the next one. Happy skincaring. Bye!